Yeah, I mean, I've been in the solar industry for quite a while now. I think I started installing in 2005 or 2006 for out in western North Carolina, that Asheville, North Carolina area. So I've been doing solar for a long time. And basically, every real job I've ever had has been in or around solar.
So you've been in it to win it.
Yeah. It's really given me a lot of opportunities to do a lot of different interesting things.
Yeah. Now, have you always been with Curb?
Oh, no.
Okay.
Curb is new. Yeah. I mean, Curb just started shipping product, I think, in 2016.
Okay.
Or the late 2015, early 2016, so about 5 years, right? So I came on board with Curb late 2016, so coming up on about 4 years.
Wow.
I've been with the company.
Yeah. Yeah. So tell us. Let's get back. Let's get into Curb. So what exactly is Curb? Why did you go from where you were at to start working at Curb?
Yeah. So I mean, I've kind of bounced around in different capacities in the solar industry. Started out installing, then got involved with kind of public policy and DOE, Department of Energy grants down in New Orleans for a while. From there, I got involved with solar equipment distribution and sales. That one really didn't make me real excited. So kind of went back to the basics, kind of back when I was installing off-grid systems in North Carolina. And started doing, uninterruptible power systems and instrumentation for oil and gas. So basically we build little power systems for instrumentation out in the oil patch.
Yeah.
That was really fun work. And then from there, my wife had a good opportunity here in Austin. So moved from Houston to Austin and, figured I can land somewhere at some solar company in Austin. Right?
I mean, I would imagine, right? Yeah.
Right. And, kind of found Curb and started looking at this thing. I was just like, wow, this is, really cool piece of equipment, right? And it fits so nicely in the solar world. They were looking for people to help sell into the solar industry, and I've got a lot of contacts, so it just kind of made sense. So
kind of was the right fit for you. So before we get into actually like what the product is, like tell us about how Curb came about. If you're able to speak on that, what is the history of Curb?
So our CEO and founder, his name is Eric Norwood. He built a sizable solar integration company probably around like 2010. They were kind of one of the biggest in Texas for a while. While he was there, one thing he's kind of tinkering around with was different kind of energy monitoring tools, because this is kind of before inverters were even doing monitoring. And, one thing led to another. He was kind of, using different monitors that are out there, couldn't really quite find what he was looking for. So kind of tinkering around with, writing some code and some scripts. One thing led to another. He started running that code and scripts off actually one of our competitors' hardware pieces. Kind of learned about, some of the upsides and downsides of that hardware. And then, he basically found some money, investors. We built our own hardware. This was part of his old company. They ended up actually selling that company off, but he was able to kind of spin the Curb piece off with them. So, he took Curb out of that company after their exit and, built Curb up to what it is today.
That's amazing. So he had an idea to really kind of connect people with this algorithm, it sounds like, and then he sold his company and built something new. So now we have this Curb product. Tell us all about it. What exactly is it? What does it do?
So it's a little hub. It lives inside of your electrical panel. So most homeowners won't ever actually see the physical hub or anything like that. But essentially, what it does is it has an assortment of sensors that attach to branch circuits. Your air conditioner or your microwave or refrigerator, air conditioning, so on and so forth.
Yeah.
And we can also monitor solar too. So, essentially there's just little sensors that attach to all your branch circuits, whether they're consumption circuits or production circuits, or maybe even the mains coming into the house. And we can measure the amount of amperage coming through those wires. The hub itself samples your voltage, so we can read super accurate voltage. And then we can also kind of calculate the power factor. So I don't know how familiar you are with.
Tell us all about it. What does that mean?
Calculating power, but Ohm's law for calculating alternating current, which is what we use inside our homes, is it's volts times amps times power factor, and that gives you the accurate reading or measurement of alternating current. So what we do is our little hub computes that 8,000 times a second on each one of those branch circuits that we're monitoring. So take those 8,000 readings a second, we pull them into our cloud. We then do some averaging with that, and then post 1 second intervals to the user interface.
Wow.
So that user interface can be on your phone or desktop or your tablet or whatever.
So there's like an app there's like a Curb app that you could kind of download and wow, okay. Continue. That's amazing. This sounds amazing.
Yeah. Yeah. So if some of your listeners want to kind of see that or demo it, they could wherever they get their apps, just look for Energy Curb. They can install that on their device and then watch a live demo, which is the house here in Austin, Texas, where I'm at. But yeah, so the feedback on that you see in the user interface is, lots of different things, right? I mean, you see your total consumption, what your house is consuming second by second.
Wow.
You can, isolate different circuits. So if you want to just see what your air conditioner is doing and not your refrigerator or something like that, you can kind of hone in on things like that.
Wow. So you can kind of find like problems or if there's like problem areas, if something's kind of doing something out of whack, you can really kind of, focus in on that and see what's going on.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Wow.
That's the whole point of Curb, right?
Okay. Yeah.
The problem we're trying to solve here is, it's great to put solar in a house, right? You're using clean, renewable energy. Makes sense, But if you've got a air conditioning compressor out on the side of your house from 1998 or 1988 or something like that, that thing's not efficient. So putting those solar panels on your house, it's great to use green energy and whatnot. But if you want to use less of it, you need to tighten up how you're consuming power.
Wow.
And one good way to kind of explain it is, I don't know how old you are, but
I'm 38 for the listener out there. I'm 30. I'll be 39 this year, so 81 Club for life. There you go.
There we go. I'm 81 too, so we're the same.
Oh, very good. What month are you?
You remember your first car in high school, right?
Of course, absolutely, yes.
There's nothing in it.
Yeah, right? No, mine was definitely a hand-me-down. It was a golden Fiero. It was a 2-seater Fiero, if anybody knows what that is. But go ahead and look that up. But go ahead, yes.
Right. So, you had a gas gauge and a speedometer and a tachometer. That's about it.
Absolutely.
That's about all the information you're getting out of your car.
Totally.
And, gas prices spiked. I remember, I don't know, what it was about 4 or 5 years ago, we were paying like almost $5 a gallon for gas.
Oh man, I'm from Alaska, so we were like paying nothing for gas up there because also we were right there on the oil up there, so it was like nice. It was like super nice growing up and paying like $3 a gallon or something like that for gas. But yeah.
Right, but gas prices are volatile, right? And they've been super volatile over the past 20 years. And what changed inside vehicles is like giving people, information about how the car's running, especially when it comes to gallons per mile, miles per gallon, MPG, right? Miles per gallon. So if you went back to the mid-90s, nobody cared about MPG. They're all driving the V8s and stuff like that. But as soon as gas prices start closing in on $3, $4, $5 a gallon, people are starting to notice, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So, kind of doing the same thing with Curb here, right? Is, what is your MPG of your house, right? Nobody really knows. They basically know, my bill's about, $150 a month, right? But could they be doing something better? And the data that we're getting out of these homes is absolutely just about everybody can do something better to reduce their consumption.
Absolutely.
And what we're looking at now, I think you're in Arizona, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Phoenix, Arizona.
Yeah. So Arizona is kind of an interesting place right now because, time of use is starting to become the norm. Time of use rates from the utility, right? Demand charges, we're seeing that in California. Starting to see demand charges popping up in Florida, up into the Northeast, and starting to move to climate use. We're no longer, it's going to become the norm, right? Because, just paying a flat price per kilowatt hour just really doesn't work anymore. So as we kind of change these time of use rates, something like Curb almost becomes even more important, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
If you've got a pool pump or a pool and a filtration system and all that stuff, most people don't interact with that piece of equipment very often, right? Unless their pool turns green.
Unless they can't get in the pool, right? Then it becomes a problem, right?
So, it's really interesting to kind of see Curbs light up in Arizona or California where there's some of these time of use rates. And that's typically the thing that they find that pops out immediately. They're like, holy smokes, my pool pump is running at peak time of day.
Right. And so like yeah, we need to fix that, right? Like if my pool pump's running at peak time of day, and would you agree that before this Curb tool, this Curb product, people wouldn't really notice that, right? If they have solar panels on their home, they wouldn't know like what specific systems are running and using the most power when they were. Would you agree with that?
Well, I mean, they wouldn't easily be able to know.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, they could go out and check on different appliances and watch them and stuff like that. But with something like Curb, you just pull it up on your phone, you know exactly what's going on inside the home, right? So, that's amazing. Those are the types of problems we're trying to solve, and sometimes it's not about using less power.
Yeah.
Sometimes your home might be as efficient as it possibly can.
And that's good to know.
But if you're in a time of use place, maybe you can use your power at different times and still reduce your bill.
Wow.
So
that's truly impressive. That's truly impressive. You know what it kind of reminds me of? It reminds me of, I'm not going to name the insurance companies, but there was a time back, and we're from the same age, so I'm pretty sure you know this. There was a time back where insurance companies were giving you this device that you'd put in your car, and it would lower your insurance bill because it would find out like how you're driving and so it kind of sounds like,
driver,
right, exactly. If you're an aggressive driver, if you're pumping on the brakes too hard or something like that, or pumping on the gas too hard. But again, it's a way of educating yourself about your home and how your power is being used, so that you can make the best of it, right? So if your pump's running at this time, hey, let's make sure that we're using the pool at this time, right? Because again, to your point, I think is that if your home's running efficiently as efficiently as possible, that's great. That's great. At least you know the efficient hours that it's being used. That sounds fantastic. Now, are you guys nationwide? Can I have this in my home today? Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
That's amazing.
Just nationwide. Mm-hmm. Yep.
But you guys are based out of Texas.
Yeah, that's correct. We're an Austin, Texas company. It's designed, supported. All in our office in Austin. Well, actually, most of us are working from home these days.
Yeah, exactly.
But we're all here in Austin.
Welcome to 2020. Yeah.
And then I think another kind of interesting thing about our hardware is, it's manufactured in Garland, which is right outside of Dallas. So, it's an American-made, American-supported product, which is, good to be.
Yeah, that's amazing. Do you have like any success stories? Like, do you know of any like clients or customers that have used this product that have been able to like change or save more money because of it?
Oh, sure. I mean, thousands of them. But going back to that pool pump, that's a great example. But there's so many things that happen. And I think I might kind of take this question and kind of, spin it around a little bit here. But
let's get into it. Yeah.
So, what I've kind of described is just kind of our core product, right? We monitor data and we display it so that people can do interesting things to reduce their energy or electric bill. But what we're starting to do now is, the past year or so, we've really been ramping up our alerts and push notifications, right?
Okay.
So, not everybody wants to sift through data and graphs and charts and try to find problems. A lot of people want to be told what the problems are. So one of our most recent kind of big new features that we've rolled out is what we call solar assurance.
Oh.
And, this is a common issue, in the solar industry is somebody puts solar on the house. Let's say they put it in early spring when it's nice and cool in Phoenix. And they are loving it, right? Because the bill is basically zero.
Right, exactly.
June comes around, that first 100-degree day in Phoenix, and the air conditioner is going to run all the way till September, October, right? That's where they haven't really seen a full year of their solar production.
Right,
how it meshes with an energy-intensive month.
And I've heard about that. That period can be kind of shocking because people are like, well, wait a minute, this is not what I signed up for. But it's like, well, hold on there. Yeah, go ahead.
Wait a minute, this thing saved me $100 in March.
Exactly.
Nothing, like barely anything in June. So one thing, that's the problem for a lot of solar providers is just, people don't, it's hard to get through to people like, the cost of energy, how they're using energy, how they're producing energy now that they have solar and so on and so forth. It's you have to go through a whole year to really understand the capabilities there. So with our solar assurance feature, what we've built is essentially you can backfill 12 months worth of kilowatt hour consumption details, right? Which is just off your electric bill. So you can throw those 12 data points in, and then you can front fill your estimated solar production for the next 12 months, right? Usually that's on your solar sales proposal or somewhere, right? Someone calculated that for you. And then you click submit in your user interface. And what that triggers is weekly notifications to your phone. So, push notification to Curb app.
Yeah.
Which essentially would tell you one of three things. Like, great job, you're using less power this week than you did this same week 1 year ago, or good job, you're using about the same amount, or heads up, you're using more, right? And that heads up you're using more is really important because everybody's life is going to change, and the way that their lifestyle changes is going to affect how they consume power. Whether you have another kid or put an addition on the house, you get a pool or a spa or something like that.
Absolutely. Or you're in a pandemic and you're staying home longer, right?
Exactly.
Right.
And one of the ones that I'm seeing a lot of is electric vehicles, right? People think, oh, this is great. I don't have to put gas in this thing, but you still have to charge it. And depending on what you're paying for power, it could be a lot, especially a Tesla. Those things use huge amounts of power to charge. Just to kind of put it in perspective, if you're looking at a Curb app with someone that has a Tesla and they're charging it, it's not uncommon for that thing to be pulling down 15,000 watts for several hours.
Wow.
And just to put that into perspective, like a 1-ton air conditioning unit outside is about 3,000 watts.
Oh my goodness.
So you're talking like running 5 air conditioners all at once to charge that car.
Wow.
So,
that's a lot of power.
That's a lot of power. Yeah. If you're doing a lot of driving, that's going to be a noticeable difference in your utility bill. Right?
Absolutely.
So this is another kind of problem that Curb is kind of helping solar companies solve for their customers is understanding how their lifestyle changes are affecting their energy bills.
So it sounds like the education piece, right? So like really getting to know who you are and how you're using power and how you can use it better or more efficiently. That's amazing.
And if you don't have data, you can't make those assumptions. You can't make an educated
guess
on what to do.
Absolutely. Right? That's amazing.
Those types of things
That's
we're
huge.
doing these days.
So now you guys are partnering with Cheetah Solar. Tell us about that. How long has that been happening? And what are the benefits, or do you guys have any promotions or anything that are going on with Cheetah Solar?
Promotions, I'm going to leave that up to Cheetah Solar.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. Sounds good. Duly noted.
But, no, we've been working with Cheetah probably since, early or late last winter is kind of when we started talking, and, really excited about working with these guys. They're an interesting company. Just hearing about meeting their teams, their sales folks. They're a different type of company than a lot of solar companies, larger solar companies out there that be a little pushy. At Curb, I've found that the companies that we work best with are companies that are looking to kind of have a long-lasting relationship.
Yeah.
There's a lot of solar companies out there that sell on the 25-year warranty, premise.
Yeah.
I'm going to put this things on your roof for the last 25 years. You'll never see me again. Right?
And that's it. Right. Yeah, exactly. Right? Signed, sealed, delivered. Right. Got it.
And then there's other companies that are like, look, I mean, these customers are valuable to me, right? I mean, not only are they going to, potentially be referral sources for me, but, they might need additional product service. Maybe some energy efficiency type work done at the house to improve that solar return on investment. So those kind of like forward-thinking companies that, look at, hey, if we have data on how, air conditioners are working, and we can tell our customer that their air conditioner's on the fritz, and that's a valuable service for that customer, that end user, there could be another source of revenue there for us. So Cheetah strikes me very much as one of those kind of forward-thinking companies where, not only do they just seem to just hire really good people, but they're also looking at interesting ways to stay in touch with their customers. And Curb's a great kind of portal into that, because we can send personalized notifications to phones and, send, energy audit, like virtual energy audit emails to them, kind of recap of what's going on inside the home. So, there's a number of ways for companies like Cheetah to kind of use Curb to stay in touch with those customers without, spamming the crap out of them with,
with sales, right? Yeah, absolutely.
It's hey, here's some really important information for you, which I think is always a better way to kind of drum up referrals than begging for them. Mm-hmm.
Zach, this has been an absolutely amazing interview. You actually took care of the last bullet points that I had there. So, how can we find out more about Curb? Like, where can our listeners go to look into Curb, and then I guess they would just follow through with Cheetah Solar to make sure that they have it in their package, right? So, how can we find out more about Curb?
Yeah, so I mean, you can go to our website, it's www.energycurb.com. I think one thing to understand about Curb is we are a B2B company. So, we do not sell hardware or software solutions to end users.
Gotcha. To the consumer, right. Gotcha.
We partner with a company and build a specific feature set that makes sense for their customers and their customers and their market. That's kind of our go-to-market strategy there. So, yeah, I mean, if you're in Arizona, call up Cheetah. They can explain kind of the Curb feature set that they have. And if you're in other places, just ask your solar.
Hey everyone, this is Andy Hansen. We really appreciate you taking the time to listen.
The Run with the Sun
Be sure
podcast.
to subscribe to the Run with the Sun podcast.
Zach, go ahead and tell them who you are.
You can find us on Apple, Google Play, and Spotify.
All right, my friends, thank you so much.
Don't forget to hit the subscribe button to hear all of the latest content. Be sure to check us out on Instagram, Facebook, and lastly, go to our website, cheetahsolar.co, so you can subscribe to our monthly newsletter for all things solar. Thanks again for listening.